All right, sprigging time. That's the sprig machine right there. And basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna feed these enormous sod rolls, as you can see he's bringing now, onto this machine. And then it will unroll that stuff into this area right here, which has basically a bunch of giant blades that are going to chop this rolled sod into pieces, and it's going to drop out the front right in front of those discs, and then the discs are going to cut it in. Now right behind the discs and all that, we are going to get a roller, and we're going to roll all the fairways and smoosh all of the material into the ground so we have real good soil contact, and away you go. The benefit of using this stuff is you get the whole plant. So you got the roots, you got the stems, you got the grass, instead of just traditional sprigs that come in and are essentially just enormously shredded tiny stems, and then you got to wait for them to drop roots and develop and all that kind of stuff. With these, you can see here, this is a little tiny piece of sod that we're just gonna throw on the ground and then squish it in there. So here they come. Let's check this out. To do T-tops and stuff like that, they hand plant. So they just bring the machine over here, turn it on, they make a giant pile of sprigs, and then they pick it up and take it and spread it out on the T-tops that are all laser level. So things like greens and tees, we plant these by hand because the surfaces are so manicured in preparation. We don't want there to be any disturbance. And that's how they do it. All right, so everything's been planted. The little red tractor over there is the cutter. So he's gone over everything all the way back down. It's on the whole fairway. So the last thing that I am doing is we are running a big, heavy roller over top everything, just kind of working on flattening out any tire ruts and all that kind of stuff, and then really pressing those new plants down into the ground. And we'll follow up behind all of the sprig machines with this giant roller, just ironing everything out. Because once we start turning on all the water, it's going to get real hard to get out here to do everything like this, because it's going to get super squishy. So I'd rather do a little upfront work. And as you can hear in the thunder, we're getting a little bit of rain right now, so even better planning. All right, we're out on hole 5, and I'm probing these greens, making sure they're the way they want it. And some of the stuff that I find is, like on these drop-offs, the breaks and stuff, I come back behind and I probe, and I just leave little notes in the sand how the shaper needs to come back and recut these things. Because the architect wanted this roll off to come out here to this chipping area, and then it gets a lot flatter as it goes back that way. Same thing right through here. You can kind of see that line. I had him, we call it making it faster, just making it a little bit faster running off the front. So as we are building these greens, we're taking notes on what all the breaks are doing and where everything goes, so we can make sure we get it cut just right. Because areas like this, in the front, they tend to have too much sand, which makes them flatter. And all the little nuance areas tend to get smoothed out, and they tend to run a little too long. And so you got to go in and just constantly probe. Like I put a little paddle on this one, so I can just go up to a spot, put it until I hear and then I spin it, and then the guys know, well, it's too deep. Or I go into a spot and it doesn't go down quite enough, they know they gotta add a little bit. So it's a pain in the neck process, but you just gotta keep poking and keep prodding. Make sure all the greens get cut just the way they're designed. And that one over there, number 6, is going to be a bear, because it's got some superb breaks in it. No fun, but gotta do it. Started cutting in 6 green. You can see 5 is all done. They're starting to sod around it. The green has got the putting surface exactly the way it's supposed to be now. And they're finding that they need just a little bit more mix on 6. So we got Shaper there and one of my guys driving the dumper working with them, bringing in a little bit more material. Get this one done and the short game done, and then everything except the big putting green behind 1T will be done.